There are a lot of white birds are there inside this forest. And there is a hunter. He's around 25 years old. He is standing in front of a hut. He's holding a bow and arrow in his hand. He's wearing a dress around his waist, and his shoulders have no clothes. And he has tied some type of a rope around his head. And he has a mustache, long face, and he is standing in front of the hut. And his wife is sitting near the hut. She is wearing a green sari, which is torn, and she is sitting down, and both of them are arguing. And he is telling that he has to go to hunt the animals for them to eat. But she is telling, why are you killing the animals? We are going to kill the animals. We are going to face problems in our life. So don't kill. Stay at home. We'll find some other profession. Let us do some other work and earn our living. But he says, I'm a hunter and I have to hunt. I don't know any other profession other than this hunting. I have to hunt and I have to bring the food for you and our children. And she's telling him not to go, but he's going inside the forest. She gets angry with him. She's telling, why are you going when I'm saying you don't go? Why are you going? He says, this is my duty. As a hunter, it is my duty to hunt and bring the food for you all. So he goes deep into the forest, and inside the forest, he's searching for animals. And on that day, there is no animal which he can hunt. He sees some of the deers, but when he's going near them, they're all running away. He's running behind them, but he's not able to catch any of them. And he spends the entire day in the forest trying to kill some animal, but he's not able to kill anything. So he comes home bare-handed, and he's very sad that he could not do anything. And his wife is waiting at the entrance of the hut. She looks at him coming back without anything in his hand. She smiles and tells, what happened? You went to hunt. Could you hunt? He angrily looks at his wife and says, it is because you wished that I should not kill the animals. I could not find any animal, and if even I found some animals, I could not kill them. They all ran away. So he feels very angry with his wife, and is telling that you don't tell me anything when I'm going for hunting. If you're going to talk anything, then I may not get anything. So next day, again, he goes for hunting. The wife wants to say and stop him from going hunting, but she keeps quiet, thinking that he may abuse her if she's going to stop him. So he goes again into the forest, and on that day, he gets a lot of animals. He kills all the animals and brings them, dragging some of the animals and bringing them near the hut. And his wife, looking at those animals, looking at the cruelty he has done to those animals, tears on her eyes. She feels very sorry for those animals which have been killed for no fault of them. She cries. She goes inside the hut without he knowing. She cries inside, wipes her face, and comes out and looks at him. He says, see, you did not tell anything today, and see how much I have brought, how much food I have brought for us. And he starts cooking that food and he starts serving. But his wife says, I will not touch this animal. I don't want to earn any curse of these animals, because these animals are there. They should coexist with us. It is not for us to kill them and eat them. Let us eat some fruits. Let us eat some vegetables. Let us not kill them. But her husband is very egoistic. He says, I will not stop hunting. I will go hunting every day. I'll bring more and more animals. I'll kill more and more animals and bring them. And he starts going every day and bring those animals which he has killed. And he feels pride in looking at those animals, heap of animals lying dead. And he feels very happy to cook them and eat them. His wife is feeling very sad. She's feeling that we are not able to understand. We are not able to have a proper understanding between us. He wants to kill, but I do not know. I am also from a hunter's family, but my mind says that we should not kill the animals. So, what is the thing that we have to do now? He is going against my wish, and I cannot adjust him. What should I do? So she feels very sorry, goes inside, and she uh, catches hold of her two children, a boy and a girl, and she cries, catching hold of them. She's crying and she doesn't know what to do because her husband is not listening to her. One day she says, when you're going for hunting, I also want to come with you. He says, you don't like hunting? Then why you want to come with me? He says, I want to come with you because something tells me that I should come with you and see how the animals are being killed by you. I want to see it and I want to show you something there. So he very reluctantly agrees for his wife to come with him. The hunter goes, leaving their children at home. Both of them go deep into the forest. And on that day, they find a lot of animals moving here and there. And the wife closes her eyes because she's afraid that he is going to use his arrow and kill those animals. So she completely closes her eyes and she waits. And at that time, there is some sound coming, and the husband and wife both look at that site where the sound is coming. The husband thinks that there is some animal hiding there, but out of that, a bush, a tree, a big tree, a sadhu comes. The sadhu comes and tells the husband, I know you're a hunter. I know it is your duty to hunt, but please do not kill the animals. If you're going to kill the animals, you are going to get the curses of those animals. So don't kill them. And I know your wife is against killing these animals. So listen to her. You listen to her and you don't harm these animals. But he laughs at the sadhu and he says, you know, I'm a hunter and I cannot stop hunting. It is my duty to hunt and kill and then eat. So please don't advise me. You go in your way. The sadhu looks at him, looks at the wife. The wife falls at his feet and says, please somehow give him the proper guidance so that he doesn't do this sin of killing these animals. The sadhu smiles and says, he will learn his lesson one day. You don't worry. If you're going to tell him anything, he's not going to listen to you. You just allow him the way he wants to go. You don't stop him. He will learn this lesson one day. And the sadhu just walks away, and the wife cries because even the sadhu could not help. He could not advise her husband. And even though he advised her husband, he was not in a position to, not ready to listen to the sadhu's advice. and he ignored the advice, and he did not consider the sadhu as a holy person, and he should listen to him. The sadhu went away, and this man again took his bow and arrow and looked around, and there were a lot of animals, and he started aiming this arrow and the bow and arrow on these animals and started killing them. And they were falling in heaps in front of the wife, who could not tolerate the sight of the animals being killed by her own husband. She had a lot of love for him. She had a lot of respect for him. But the way he was using his bow and arrow and killing those animals, she was having hatred in her mind. What kind of man he is, just killing them just for the sake of his satisfying his ego, and for eating those animals, satisfying his ego. Is this the way a man should behave? And she develops a lot of hatred towards him, and she slowly walks back to her hut. And her husband, after hunting a lot of animals, drags them, brings them before the hut, and starts the fire and starts cooking and starts eating them. And he is looking at her as if he is ridiculing her and says, "Come and have." And she says, "No, I will never eat an animal." And the two children who are looking at those animals curiously, they also want to eat, but the mother stops them. She says, "You don't eat that sin, what he has committed. Don't get the sin, what he has committed. Let us not share his sin. Let him kill, let him get the sin, let him experience the problems, but we will not share those things with him." She goes inside with the children, and she lies on the uh, floor without eating anything, just crying and wondering what kind of man I have married. And I am also from a hunter's family. I never felt when my father was going for hunting. I never stopped my father from going for hunting. He also hunted. He also brought many animals, and I also ate. But I don't know why this is happening. When my husband is going, I am feeling that he should not go. He should not do this thing. He should not kill these animals. But I am not understanding why this feeling is coming. Things, years pass away, and he continues to do it. And one day, when he is going to kill an animal, a huge animal, it has got horns, and he knows that by killing that animal, he is not going to do anything because he cannot even eat so such a huge animal. But he wants to challenge that animal. So he challenges that animal that, "Come on, let's play." And he takes his arrow, and he just uses the bow, and the arrow goes and pierces one eye of that huge animal, which is which gets very angry. And that animal comes chasing him, and he is not able to use his arrow because he's coming with such a force. He is running inside the forest, falling down, and that animal is chasing him, and he runs and runs and runs, and at last he finds the way to his hut, and then he comes and falls in front of the hut, and the wife comes out and sees his condition. She feels pity for him, and she pleads before that animal that, "Please don't kill him, please pardon him, please pardon him, don't kill him, don't kill him. He has been killing you, but please, for my sake, please pardon him." And that huge animal, which is having an ash color body, having horns, and it stops near the wife, looks at her, and has got mercy for her, and it comes near the man, just smells him, and with its leg just pushes him and walks back as if warning him that you should not do this. So the man, after some time, gets up, and his wife tells him, "I told you not to do this, but you did not listen. See, the animal would have killed you. Had I not pleaded with that animal, it would have definitely killed you. It has chased you till here, and it is so powerful, and we are nothing before that huge animal. And so you be careful. Don't go again inside the forest." And that animal slowly limps back into the forest with its one eye bleeding. The animal goes back, and the wife says, "Let us not stay here. Let us go to some town nearby. This is not a safe place for us. and I cannot afford to lose you. I know I got a lot of hatred in my mind for you. At the same time, I got a lot of love for you. You are my husband. You have given me two children. I have a lot of love for you. So please let us go away from this forest. But the husband is not ready to listen. He's very adamant. He says, I cannot run away from here because that huge animal came attacking. These are all part of the life of a hunter. And we have to face all these type of problems. And even if we are killed, we should not run away. We should have courage to face them. And in case we die very with great honor that we have been killed in a war. So he again says that he will go again to the forest, and then he again goes inside the forest. And when he's going inside the forest, he finds that there is again a bush, and inside the bush again there is some sound coming, and he just listens, waits and listens, and he feels that it is a a roaring sound of a lion or something like that, a tiger or a lion. So he very carefully listens to the sound, and he takes that arrow and aims at the uses the bow and arrow and aims it and leaves the arrow with full force. The arrow goes and hits, and then he runs behind that arrow to catch the prey. And there he finds that sadhu bleeding and the arrow hitting on his shoulder, and the sadhu is lying with a lot of blood all over his body. And he comes near. He's shocked to see that the sadhu is lying down. He thought it is some wild animal like a lion or tiger, but looking at the sadhu lying there bleeding, he finds that it is something wrong he has done. So it goes near them, and then he just kneels down and holds the sadhu by his shoulder and tells, Swami, what have I done? Why were you hiding in this? And with a lot of pain, holding his shoulder, the sadhu replies, it is my place where I do my meditation. Here I sit and I do meditation for months together. Nobody disturbs me. I am here. Even these animals don't come near me because they know that I'm meditating here. The power of my meditation, the power just going out of my body drives all the animals away from here. And I do not know how you hit me with your arrow. It is so powerful. The arrow came with such a power, and it has pierced my shoulders. I am in pain. Then the hunter just falls at his feet and tells that I have done a great wrong. I am sorry. I will carry you to a place and I will give you some leaves with which you can be cured. The sadhu just lies down, and this hunter man lifts that sadhu and brings him to a place where there is a big tree. Under the tree, he places him and he gets some leaves and he just grinds those leaves and puts it on the sadhu. And the sadhu, after a few days, gets up, opens his eyes, and smiles at him. Do you remember? I advised you not to kill animals because you'll be earning their curses. But you did not listen to me. But today you have hit me with your arrow, such a powerful, forceful arrow that has hit me. And you are here to serve me. You did not just leave me, or you could have just killed me and gone. But you did not kill me. You did not run away. You waited here for 3, 4 days. You brought me here under this tree. You gave me some treatment. With that, I'm feeling better. I'm able to use my hand also. And I see that there is something noble inside you. You are cruel in your acts, but I see there is something really noble within you. You are not just a hunter, you are a hunter in this birth, but you have taken this birth after many births as a noble person. Whatever sins you committed in that birth has resulted in you taking this birth as a hunter, and you are doing all these things based on your karma. You are killing these animals and earning more and more karma. Your duty is to kill, but at the same time, you should not kill more than what you need. You have been killing them just to satisfy your ego. You were not killing them to satisfy your hunger. You were killing them to satisfy your ego. That is not as per your duty. Your duty was to kill and take them for your family, but you had the pleasure. You had the pleasure in the suffering of these animals, and you just killed in lots and carried them and put them in front of your wife who hated your killing. And in front of her, you wanted to show that you can do all these things and nobody can stop you. But today, you are here as a changed man. There is a change in your mind. Are you not feeling that what you did wrong? Then the hunter says, Swamiji, yes, I realize today that I should not have killed so many animals. I should have killed only one animal, which is enough for us to eat. The entire family can be satisfied with one animal. But I brought so many things. As you say, it is purely out of my ego. I wanted to satisfy my ego, and it was not to satisfy hunger of my family. As a man, I did wrong. As a hunter, I did not obey the rules of a hunter that he should kill only what he wants to eat. But I have been living a life of pride, a life of ego. And even I had the opportunity of listening to my wife, who, though a daughter of a hunter, advised me that I should not kill the animals like this and we should do some other profession, that I did not agree. I did not get any proper advice. Even though the advice came from her, I did not listen to her because it was all the ego that covered my eyes, that covered my brain, and I did not act what she told me. But Sadhuji, you are here to advise me, tell me what I should do hereafter. And he fell at the Sadhu's feet and asked for forgiveness for having killed so many animals. The Sadhu asked him to get up, and he said, as a hunter, you have every right to kill, but your killing should be limited to only one animal which you need for satisfying your hunger and not for your ego. And he said, you can continue doing this hunting, or you come to my place where I will teach you meditation, where I will show you proper guidance. I will give you the proper guidance so that you can go further into your life. You are caught in a cycle where you are in a birth and death type of situation. You have come from a good background, but you are caught here as a hunter in this life. You had a better life in the previous birth. You did not use it. Now you're a hunter here. You are not listening to your wife, and you are destroying the rules that have been given to a hunter, and you're doing whatever comes into your mind. These are not happening because of anything, not because of your ego, not because of your thought that you should break the rules, not because of the thought that you should kill the animals and put them in a heap and then enjoy their sight. It is all happening because of the karma of your past, and that karma is doing all these things to you. So you are not able to listen to your wife's advice. So here I have come to make you all right. And I am going to give you an advice. Just close your eyes and sit in front of me. Throw your bow and arrow down. Now, I will initiate you into meditation. You will do the meditation, whatever I'm telling you. And don't think that meditation is very, very difficult. Just you have to close your eyes and then just see what is happening around you. So he closed his eyes and he was just listening. He was listening one way to the roar of some animal at far away place. And his hands were just coming up to lift the bow and arrow and shoot them. At the same time, the sadhu noticed that and he said, just be silent. Don't use your hands and don't listen to the roaring sound of those animals. I am also here. I am not hearing anything, but you are hearing because you are a hunter. Your ears are so sharpened to hear those sounds. But I am here. I am just sitting inside the bush and meditating. No animal comes near me. So, similarly, from today on, no animal will come near you. The moment they see you, they all will run away. You won't be able to hunt from today. You won't be able to hunt and kill them and then incur the curses and the sin. That time is over. From today onwards, you are going to do some other profession and you are not going to be a hunter. The karma of the hunter is over today in front of me. From tomorrow onwards, you are going to do some other job. You are going to come here daily for taking your advice and meditation, and you will have to keep your family happy. So, the priority of your life is you should keep your family happy, listen to your wife, what she says, and do whatever she says and keep her happy. So, again, the hunter falls at the feet of the sadhu and says, Swamiji, whatever you're saying, I will do accordingly, and I will not touch this bow and arrow from today. I'll go back to my wife and children, and I will listen to my wife. Whatever she is telling, I will listen to her. And whatever she's advising me, I will listen to her. I will not think that she knows nothing. But today I understand that she has got such a high realization. What realization I'm getting today, she has already got the realization. So she is younger to me. She's a daughter of a hunter. She has clearly realized that to live as a hunter means not to kill and collect the animals, but it is only to kill for the need and not to accumulate anything beyond. She was not even ready for killing a single animal. She was telling that she doesn't want to eat and share the sin, and she did not allow her children also to eat whatever I killed. I really understand that she did not want to share the sin from me, and she did not want the children also to share the sin whatever committed. Then he comes to the wife and says, whatever advice you are giving, I was not hearing your advice. But today, the sadhu opened my eyes and he showed me that whatever advice you are giving to me, they were all proper. And I should have listened to your advice. But as he says, something like karma, that karma has completely closed my eyes, closed my ears to listen to you. And I was like a madman going into the forest and killing and animals and dragging them here and then keeping them. And I wanted only a piece of meat, but I killed so many animals and you also did not eat anything. It was the entire life as a hunter. I feel today is completely wasted. I should have heard you. I should have followed your advice of not going to the forest and going to some other profession. But at last, the sadhu has given me this realization that we should stop this and go to some other place and we should start our living in another profession, whatever we know, or we should learn something, and whatever we know, we have to do it. And the wife becomes very happy. She feels very relieved. She hugs her children and she says, today your father has realized something which is very, very important in life. And he has realized it. And the realization has happened inside the deep forest. And the realization has been given by a sadhu who has told him what is to be done in this life and what is good for him. And I am very happy that at least he could listen to this sadhu, though on that day he completely ignored the sadhu's advice and went away. But today, this realization has happened on him. So I'm very happy. And she just falls at the feet of her husband, says, let us now forget all our problems. Let us forget all our differences, opinions. You had some opinion, I had some opinion. You wanted to go for hunting, I was against hunting. But both of us were not able to come to the same level of thinking. But the universe, the God, has made that realization to happen to you through that sadhu. And it also made you to hit that sadhu with your arrow so forcefully. And that sadhu was kind enough not to curse you, but he was kind enough to advise you on the proper path. And he has also initiated you into meditation. And I am very sure that you meditating regularly, your mind will become very calm and you will be guided properly by the sadhu and by the God. With that, she says, now let us leave this forest. And then they all go to the sadhu who is sitting under a tree. And the wife goes and tells the sadhu, Sadhu, you have made such a wonderful change in my husband. The realization that was not happening in him has happened. And I'm very happy that you made him realize that hunting is just earning sins, hunting not for satisfying the hunger, hunting for the sake of ego is something that creating lot of karma and lot of sin. And the sadhu smiles and says, you are really a realized soul. What type of advice you are given to your husband? You are a really realized soul. I appreciate you. And he blesses the wife, says that you continue to guide her, your husband, and I'm sure he will listen to you hereafter because he has understood that whatever you told him was correct. And I have only just told him whatever you have already told him. But when he saw that he hit me thinking that I am an animal. And when he saw the blood coming out of the human being, he really moved. And the realization happened at that level. And that is very important that he will never forget in his life that this realization, what has happened, it will go deep into his mind. It will remain there forever. And the wife and the husband both fall at the feet of Sadhu, and the Sadhu gives them some fruit in their hand and blesses them and say that whenever you have any problem with you, just look at this fruit. This fruit will resolve all your problems, all your differences of opinion, and this fruit will guide you to take a common decision and be at peace. And both of them receive the fruit in their hands and they give a lot of respects to the sadhu. And the children also bow before him, and all the four of them start leaving the forest and they come to a town. And in the town, they just take a small house. That house, the wife cooks, and whatever she cooks, the husband carries them and then he sells the food. There are some temples and all that, and in some marketplaces he takes the food what she cooks and sells them, and he brings money. And he's very happy now that he need not kill any animal. And on the other hand, he's now feeding people who are hungry, and the people who are hungry are blessing him when he's giving food. And so he feels that the sadhu has really brought a great realization in me. And whatever my wife told, I totally ignored. I did not listen to her, but see, the sadhu has come and got me realization. With that happiness, he just moves around, and their business of that food starts growing slowly, and then it becomes a little bigger and bigger, and they start earning a lot of money. And the children also study well, and they also grow, and they also assist their parents in that business, and they are living there very happily. And there is no difference of opinion between the husband and wife. The husband, whatever the wife says, he listens to it. And the wife, whatever the husband says, listens to it without telling no to whatever he says. And therefore, they both of them realize that if you say yes to each other, then the problems are reducing. They realize that if you say no, the other man also says no for the other problem. But if you say yes to one problem, the other man also thinks, okay, she is just adjusting. Why not I also adjust? And so he also says yes. In that way, their life is going very happily. And one day, the husband, while selling the food in a market, is bitten by a snake. And the wife comes to know that he has been bitten by a snake, and she runs crying there. And she looks at him. He is lying down with his body becoming blue, and he is not able to talk, but he looks at her eyes and he says, without words, he communicates, whatever advices you were giving to me were really like gold. I ignored you. I did not listen to you. But the realization happened to me through the sadhu, and our life completely changed. Even though I killed the animals for my ego, after coming this town, I felt very peaceful. I slept nicely. I did not wake up in the night hearing the roar of some animal, but here I was very peaceful. I slept nicely. You cooperated with me so well that we could establish this food business and we could grow very well. And it was all possible because you listened to me, you adjusted with me, you never argued with me. Whatever I told, you said yes. You never argued with me that we should not do like this, we should not do like this. But you said, whatever I said, you said, okay, we can do like that. And when you said, okay, that we can do like that, then I also felt that why should I quarrel with you? Why should I say no to you? Then I also started to saying yes, yes for everything what you said. And because of that, our life was so pleasant. Our life was so happy. Our children were happy. So everything was happy. So the lesson I've learned now is that say yes, never say no. And once you say yes, the other side also will, though they want to say no, they will also come and say yes. So this is the lesson I'm learning. This is the lesson I've learned in this lesson, in this life. And I'm leaving my body with this lesson which I've learned. And I hope you have also understood this lesson. He's communicating everything through his eyes and tears in her eyes. She's looking at her husband. She loves him. She feels sorry that she had to use harsh words to him to stop him from hunting. But at the same time, she feels that yes, we could achieve something in his life. And just looking at him, he closes his eyes and she cries. She cries, and the children also cry. And all of them around, the people around the market also, they all come and look at people because they all know, because this man has been selling food in that market. And therefore, they all have a lot of respects for that first person. And so they also come and pay the respects. And they are telling that this man was really hardworking. And it is very sad that he has been killed by a snake. The another person sitting there says that he was a hunter. He was hunting the animals. He was killing the animals. How many animals would have cursed him? How many serpents would have cursed him? How many uh, how many birds would have cursed him? And here see, he has now learnt that he should not hunt, and hunting has brought the end to him. His death has come through a snake, and he, in his next life, will definitely realize that he should not hunt, he should not hurt other people, he should not do anything harm to the other people. Like that, all the people in the market were all talking, and the man's spirit just left the body, the wife crying, looking at him, his blue body, crying, and the soul just goes up, looking at his wife, feeling very sorry that whatever he did to that wife in that life, making, ridiculing her for not eating that animals, and he goes up. Then he just thinks about the entire life. He thinks that I was a hunter by profession. I was a hunter by birth. My father was a hunter. My grandfather is a hunter. And my wife was from a hunter's family. But I do not know why she hated me hunting. She should have, on the other hand, encouraged me to hunt more and more animals. She should have had the pleasure that when I brought so many animals home, but she did not. What was the reason that she was not encouraging me? Is there anything there? Is there anything less, any lesson I have to learn? I think she came to me as a guru and she was preaching me not to kill, because she knew that I am accumulating more and karma by killing those animals. And she wanted me to stop me from earning those bad karmas. So she was repeatedly telling me, cried, and she even came with me to the forest, and she could not bear the sight of the animals being killed. And she also saw the sadhu advising me, but I just ignored him, I ridiculed him and walked away. And all these things happened because before my wife. And I feel that my wife was my guru in that life. She was my guru. I should have listened to her from the beginning. But anyway, at least when I hit the sadhu, I got the realization that I should not hunt anymore and I should go back to some town and do some business, should learn some business and do the business, which I did. I could do it because the cooperation of my wife, because my wife never said no to whatever I said. And I learned the thing from my wife that I should never say no to what she says. That mutual understanding between us brought us so close. But my karma came as a snake and killed me and ended our happy life. But I want to live with the same wife in my next life. I want to live with her. I want to get her advices. And I will practice that. I will never say no to her. I will practice that I will never say no to her. I will, whatever she is going to advise me, because I realize that she is my guru. I am going to listen to her and I'm going to learn whatever she is going to teach me. And I'm going to cultivate the habit of saying yes to whatever she is telling. And I will also make her to say yes to whatever I'm telling. In that way, we will live a very happy life. And I hope the sadhu will come and bless me in my future life also. And the fruit, the apple he gave me, will definitely come in our next life. And it will give us the wisdom to live peacefully whenever we have any differences of opinion. And that apple will make us to move closer and closer and enjoy this life, even though in the past life we could enjoy only part of the life because our initial life was going just with ego. My ego clashed with my wife. I did not enjoy my life. I was just having a lot of ego, and therefore I did not see eye to eye with her. But in this life, I want to live eye to eye with her. I want to say yes to her, and I hope the sadhu and the apple, what he gave us, will help me in this life. With that, he decided to take birth, and he also wanted the same wife to be his wife in his life. And whatever differences are there, those differences will have to be settled in this life, because they settled every difference in the past life. And so in this life, they have to settle all these differences, and the wife has to learn to say yes to what her husband says, and the husband has to learn to say yes to what the wife says. In that way, there will be mutual understanding. The understanding will improve, the relationship will improve. And this is the message I am giving. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. I am giving this message to her that she should adjust with her husband. She should not argue with him, or she should not feel sorry for whatever he's telling. He has lived a life of a hunter, faced so much of karma, and then he has taken this birth. And in that life itself, he realized that his wife is his guru. And he asked this wife to come as his wife in this life also. So understand, the soul wanted this soul to come to guide. So whatever differences are there, they are all because of the karma of some of the past lives which are creating hurdles in this life. But once you think about this past life in which he was a hunter and in which you were a wife of the hunter, and what were the mental conditions you underwent convincing your husband not to go for hunting, compared to that, what you are facing in this life is nothing. It is just a small sand in front of a mountain that you had endured. You won. You advised your husband. He did not listen. You sought the help of the sadhu to advise, but he did not listen. But how it happened? It happened because of his karma. He shot the arrow, and the arrow hit the sadhu. And the sadhu, seeing the sadhu in that state, the realization happened to him. So it is life also. The realization will happen to him suddenly. You need not worry. What you need is you have to be very, very satisfied. You have to be convinced that what you saw, the past life, compare it, that life with this life, you will feel that you're much more comfortable here. And whatever is agitating in your mind is all agitating because of your own thoughts. It is not actually something happening that is making you to agitate. It is your thought, your feeling that he is not hearing you. You felt the same feeling in that life also that he was not hearing you. You felt, you cried, you did not eat what he brought, you did not even eat, you starved, you made your children also to starve because you never wanted to give them these animals, the dead animals you did not want to give. So they were starving, you were starving. But compare that life with this life. This life is more comfortable to you. It is all the thought in your mind that is making you very, very unhappy. They are making you unsettled. But just convince your mind that whatever problems you face in that life, they are nothing compared to that life. These are nothing to you. And as you were able to win him, you will definitely able to win him. But what you need is you need to be patient. You need to be patient, and you will have to practice the uh, calmness in you. You will have to generate that feeling of calmness in you. You have to generate the feeling of love for your husband. And once you generate the feeling of calmness and the love for your husband, it will just go all over, and it will also pass through him, and it will make him to change. Don't expect a change immediately, but as we saw in the past life, how things happen suddenly, how things happen as per the karma. In this life also, the things will change. But what you need is you need to be happy. Come what may, nobody can disturb your happiness. Your happiness is with you. Whether your husband abuses you, whether your husband doesn't listen to you, the others are abusing you, others are not listening to you, you should not feel anything about it. What you have to feel is, I have come here, I have taken birth here to become happy, to enjoy this life I have come. My husband has asked me to come as a wife in this life also, and I have also come here happily. I have come here to guide him. If he is not listening to him, it is not my mistake. It is, I know that from past, I know that he is going to listen to me one day, but the day I have to wait. That realization will happen. Just it happened in the past. The same realization will happen. And he'll be a very nice husband to me. I love him. I know he loves me. He has got a lot of uh, bonding towards me, but he's unable to express that bonding because his soul has sought me and I've come here. But he's unable to express the soul in this body, is unable to express that love, is unable to express that bonding. And I, in this body, I, as a soul in this body, is also not able to express my binding, my bonding, my love, my affection to him, though my soul knows that I got lot of respect for him, lot of affection for him, because the way he realized and he changed his life, and he came and he listened to me that we should take another profession and go out of this forest. He listened to me, though not directly from he, but he was made to listen through the sadhu and the realization it happened. So you have to be very, very confident. You have to be very cheerful, and you have to be very positive that that type of realization is going to happen, and you have to wait for that. And then you have to keep yourself cheerful, you have to keep yourself happy, and you have to feel that everything is happening as per karma, and whatever you have to undergo, you have to undergo. And I am here to help you to reduce your karma. Now that you've seen this past life, you have understood how you lived with him, what are the situations you faced with him, what was your mental condition in that life, everything you've seen. And now you compare that mental condition with this present life, and you'll feel a lot of relief. The karma is now reducing for you, and you will start realizing that everything is going as per the karma. And as the karma is reducing, all these problems will reduce, and there is actually no problem between you and him. It is your mind that is creating this problem. So you'll have to control your mind. And to control your mind, you'll have to sit in meditation for about 15, 20 minutes and just look into yourself and see that where is this thought coming from? Why is it coming from? There should be a reason that thought is coming from. If he's not listening to you, is that affecting you? If he is not listening to you, why that should affect you? Because you have seen in your past life that he never listened to you. He is not listening to you in this life also. Why that should affect you? It should not affect you. You had to be very clear about it, that in that life he didn't listen to me, but ultimately what I wanted has happened. I wanted him to come out of the forest. He came out of the forest. I wanted him to do some other profession. He did another profession. I wanted him to be very loving towards me. He was very loving towards me till his death. He was loving. And I understand now that he wanted me as his wife. And I have come here as his wife. And it is all what he was desiring, what he was wishing in, in the form of his soul. And that has happened. So why I should be unhappy? I should be very happy that I got him as my husband. I should first of all have this thought that my husband's soul is such a nice soul that it asked for me to become his wife. And I should thank God that I have come to him as wife. And from today onwards, I will be very cheerful with him. I will not argue with him. And whatever he says, I will say, yes, we can do like that. And I will not argue with him. And the moment I say yes, he will also realize that my wife is telling yes for everything. Then why should I tell no? And that slowly that change will happen. And the realization also will happen to him one day when maybe in his meditation, or maybe when he's going to meet a person like the sadhu he met. And you can always keep on apple in your puja and look at the apple whenever you're feeling any difference, whenever you're feeling any unhappiness in your mind, whenever you're feeling some frustration in your mind that your husband is not listening to you, look at that apple which was given to you with the sadhu, and then you will feel a lot of relief from whatever thoughts you are having in your mind, because everything what you're facing today is because of the thoughts that are going in your mind. And nothing bad is happening to you. It's just a thought, just like his ego in the past life. The ego in this life is also continuing. That ego is not allowing to say yes to you immediately. But once you start saying yes to him, he will also slowly say yes. And you will find that you are becoming closer and closer to him, and you are becoming happier and happier, and your life will be very, very comfortable. As the sadhu thought, you are a noble soul. The sadhu realized that you are a noble soul, and therefore, whether you are in that life or in that life, you are in that body or this body, you are a noble soul. So think, be proud that you are a noble soul. You have come here not to cry, not to become unhappy. You have come here to become happy, to enjoy this life with the husband who sought you in this life, with all the relationship around you, all the friends around you. Enjoy and never feel sorry, never feel sad, never feel unhappy, and keep a smile on your face always, and be very, very cheerful. Once you are cheerful, that cheer will spread like fire in entire family. People will become cheerful and make you also cheerful. And so think of that apple in your puja and light a lamp and keep one apple there. The apple becomes uh, dry or anything, just change that apple, keep a new apple, maybe 2 days, 3 days, keep that apple and change that apple, keep a lamp lighted near that, and look at the apple in case you are feeling something wrong in your mind. And that apple will clear all your thoughts in your mind, and it'll make you very peaceful and happy.